it's time for Critically Sensitive with your favorite hosts, Val Ball and Nate French. Yay!
Good evening. Welcome to our 5th episode. Thank you so much for joining us to chew the fat. And just a reminder, if you haven't already subscribed, and if you have, thank you. But if you haven't, please do. We are a third of our way to our 100 subscribers. That'll get us a personalized URL for Critically Sensitive. So share this with your friends and family to be a conversation catalyst.
Oh, we need it.
And just a reminder, I'm your host, Val Ball, and this is my primate,
Nate.
That I said prime mate. He's not a primate. I mean, he is. He's kind of a manimal.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm a Nate Anderthal.
Oh, coined it. Coined it first.
For all Nates. I give that to all Nates.
All Nates everywhere.
All Nates all the time. All Nates are one Nate.
So let's talk about what is innate. In terms of,
innate? Yeah.
Our subject here tonight is fatness. Fat.
That thick.
Like I have been saying over the last year, for those that don't know me, I have been through quite a journey over the last year, specifically a weight loss journey that is a sensitive subject and also hypercritical. And so we thought we'd bring it up and kind of talk about what it's like to go from a fat ass to a flat ass. I say that, and one of the things that is an interesting topic is how many times I would call myself the fat girl, and my friends would be like, "Oh, don't say that. Don't say that." And it's like, would you tell the tall girl not to say that she's tall? Would you tell the
Can't tell the giraffe not to be tall.
I mean, it just, and not that, well, that's kind of a different story in the sense that a giraffe is. I mean, is fatness inherent, innate? Is it hereditary?
Fatness is innate. Right
is
now.
it?
Yes.
Fatness is innate.
Currently there is fatness residing innate. Yes.
We have discussed it, and it's hard. It's hard to be in a relationship with someone who's losing weight. It's hard to think, like, I was part of a like Fabulous Fatties Facebook page that was very much like
Fabulous Fatties
does not allow talk about intentional weight loss, because that is not body positive, which is a whole subject to like, oh my gosh, do I even dip my toe? No, I'm not even wearing a swimsuit, or am I? So those are the kinds of things that we want to talk about, and those are the kinds of things that don't get talked about a lot. And so I wanted to talk to you. I know, honey, you've had one of the things that we share is that experience of growing up fat in a skinny society.
Young
I'm
and
like,
thick
what
is a tough life. When you got the badunk, when your trunk is full, everybody wants to make you feel like the fool. That's not okay, everybody. Everybody with the thickness, I feel you. My thighs were in business. I was like so just stacked up tight, just a big old boy, like hanging up. See, that's the thing though. Even though I was a chunkus, I was outside. I played all the time. That's why I think like there is some truth to the idea that, yes, I probably did not eat super healthy foods. I'm not going to pretend like I didn't eat like cookies and like have like 10 cookies. I definitely
buttered noodles. You loved buttered noodles.
I still love buttered noodles. I don't know how you're not supposed to. I mean, honestly, that's one of those things that I think when I was, like, everything that was good, I was like, well, this obviously is tasty and amazing. I don't know how it's supposed to be bad.
Well, but here's the thing. What you have to remember is that tastes are acquired, right? Like, so.
They're required, I agree.
That's
why I eat fat. It's delicious.
It is delicious. But, like, taste is an acquired taste. Like, taste is acquired.
Oh, sure.
As well as things are an acquired taste.
My mom fooled me with tuna fish, and she told me it was canned chicken for a long time because I would not eat the tuna fish when I smelled it, and I would get very angry and throw a big fit like a big old baby man.
Yeah.
And then I liked it. She made a tuna casserole and told me it was chicken. Lied. My mother lied to my face, told me it was chicken casserole, was tuna, and I ate the shit out of it. Like
delicious tuna casserole is amazing.
I had like 2 or 3 helpings. I was like,
why haven't we made tuna casserole? I'm gonna have to find a keto version of tuna casserole of some sort.
Tuna casserole is delicious, but and so I didn't. And after I was so bad because I found the can in the trash.
No.
Oh yeah, like scene of the crime. Confronted my mom like in the kitchen. I'm like, oh, no. What is this? Yeah, and I was like, totally like what?
What'd she say?
She was like, you loved it. She didn't even, she didn't deny it at all.
I'm not even ashamed of myself.
I fooled you.
I gave you something delicious. I mean, we would literally try and convince, literally I had DC, like the one time I had SRS called on me, or like the child services, was because I tried to feed my kid a healthy burrito. No, a healthy sloppy Joe when I was trying to here's the thing. I was trying to modify his diet to address his ADHD issues for school, and I was doing it through food instead of medication. And so I'm trying to find healthy ways. I'm trying to do this good mom stuff. I'm like, I literally made like sloppy joes out of like the textured protein, or whatever it is.
Boy.
And I really went hardcore trying to make a healthy sloppy joe.
I hear you.
It had spinach, it was on a tortilla. It wasn't anything like a sloppy joe. I get it. But I was trying to still be like, Zach, you're going to eat this. And he would be like, you are eating like poop. It's so weird when kids are like, and we would tell him, we were like, we don't eat things that taste like shit, we don't eat tasting
poop, boy.
And so I literally we tried to get him to eat this burrito, and literally he was so mad. He was about 10 at the time, like 3rd, 4th grade, 10 at the time.
He
hated it so much that he pounded the middle of the burrito and splattered it out the corners. Both sides of the burrito went splattering in the living room.
I mean, it's horrible to imagine it happening to me.
As like a mom, it's awful. But yeah, it's funny. You gotta laugh at it.
Oh my god,
right? And that's part of the hardest part of parenting is not laughing when they do funny shit that they're gonna have to get in trouble for. That's a whole other subject. Kids are funny. But so anyway, and then we went to go grab him in his room. Like he ran away to his room knowing he had done something wrong. Runs away to his room. We go to grab him and we caught his t-shirt and grabbed the tank top he was wearing, and it ripped when we went to grab, because he pulled forward, we pulled back, and
the whole event.
And he got this rug burn under his arm. And the next day, I get this phone call from SRS that's we've gotten reports about your some unusual and I was like, are you shitting me right now? I'm getting a call because I tried to feed this. So you can imagine how healthiness has gone in my family.
Food is a challenge for you. It feels
I did, however, around the same time, earlier than that, because that was when he was 8 to 10-ish, but earlier when he was 5 or so, he was about 5 when we got our new car. I got a new car when he was about 5, and I convinced him, because I was trying to cut out fast food out of our lives. I'd watched Fast Food Nation and Food Inc. and all that kind of stuff, so I was cutting all that stuff out, and I convinced him that our car which was a Vibe. I was like, oh, the Vibe doesn't fit in drive-thrus anymore.
What a bizarre instance of
totally lied to
making.
my kid to just convince him. And
The
he
Pontiac Five will force you to lose weight.
totally
It will
wouldn't-
not go to fast food
He
restaurants.
told other people, he's like, yeah, our car doesn't go to fast. It doesn't go through the drive-thru anymore. And I'm just like,
Wow, he believed you so much.
Totally did.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like my dad, when I was a kid, my dad told me that if you eat blueberries, it makes it rain.
Sure.
And
I do it on purpose.
I know
Everywhere
you
I
do.
go, I eat
know you
blueberries
do.
just to make
and
it rain.
I am like, I didn't eat blueberries for like 30 years because I didn't want that like
that
that like
responsibility.
guilt. I didn't want that
made it
kind of
rain.
guilt.
I'm so sorry. I
Oh,
was so happy for blueberries.
I like totally did, but it's like that is
Dad,
anyway,
you're blueberry
so
hungry.
that kind of talks to like, you know, back to the fatness thing. Like it really like goes to like how much we believe what we're told, right?
Right.
And how do we believe what we're told? And one of the things that we're told is like fatness is unhealthy, and that's actually maybe not as true as we think it is. There are definitely some things about fatness that make it dangerous, but thin does not automatically equal healthy, and fat does not automatically equal unhealthy. There are levels and spectrums within everything, right? And so
Levels of spectrums.
there's definitely things to
Spectrum
think about
levels.
that. And you know, the crazy part is that it's been a year of a weight loss journey. I've lost 140 pounds
Boom.
at this point.
That big money number.
Lots and lots of weight
That's
in
a
a year.
whole other person.
A whole person, 67 inches around my body in various places. So it literally is a whole nother person.
I'm
5'7",
still carrying my twin.
140
My
people.
unborn twin is inside me like Quado. And he comes out at night and he tells my fortune. And I ask him, little Nate, tell me the future. And he's like, I will tell you the future.
He
Give
just
me
hands you a
nachos."
fortune cookie
Yeah.
and is like, eat this.
He runs
That's your
on junk
future.
food. I can't help it. I can't help it. What do you want me to do? My fortune teller runs on junk food. I can't help it, everybody. What do you want from me?
It's so
Snickers. It
it's-
really satisfies. It really does.
Oh, for that hunger that's a poking at you, poking at you. Poking
That's
at you,
great.
poking at
Wait,
you.
I'm sorry. You know what? I know Snickers is probably really bad for you in a million ways, but oh my God, commercial-wise,
Some good stuff.
top notch
Good
Snickers.
stuff. Like good stuff like, hey, you want that person to not be an asshole to you? Give them a Snickers. You know, like
honestly-
what a marketing
Honestly,
ploy
that
that is.
feels like that works too. Like if somebody's just being a dick to you, you're like, hey, man,
Hangry. Hangry
Let's
is a real
just
thing.
squash this
I have
with a
my
Snickers.
cousin worked in the fashion industry and told me a little bit that like models are angry people. They are
they don't
not,
have any-
because they don't eat.
they don't get any
They
yummy
get like a
Snickers.
quarter of a bagel, you know? And like so
It's not right. Why are we starving our models?
So let's
What are we
talk
doing?
about like so you know it is really hard going on a weight loss journey. What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to lose weight? Are you not supposed to lose weight? And so mine kind of began about a year ago. There was a program at work, and it was called Naturally Slim. And Naturally Slim. And I mean, I've been through weight loss. I've done, you know, the 21-day fix. I've done Jenny Craig. I've done Weight Watchers. I mean, I used to be on Weight Watchers, not to digress too much, but when I was a kid, I was the kid with the butter
digress
tub
too
of
much.
spinach.
Oh.
While all the other sixth graders had their bologna
Spinach.
sandwiches and fruit snacks and Fritos, I was eating
Fruit
spinach
snacks.
with lemon juice on it.
Yeah,
Which,
I love fruit
you know,
snacks.
I also ironically, now that I'm my mom's age, I'm like, oh, that's a delicious lunch and I'm going to take it every day. You know, like I'm totally into it. But, you know, not as a kid. You just rebel against that stuff. But so anyway,
Oh, no. Yeah.
so last year we get these points at work for insurance. That's a whole nother topic we want to talk about is insurance versus healthcare and why we don't have it and racism.
Stay tuned, everybody.
Racism. Tune in for more episodes. So that's a drink, by the way. Remember, if I mentioned patriarchy, misogyny,
That's true.
racial capitalism,
Shots,
you get to do shots.
shots,
So if you
shots.
ever want to play drinking party with critically sensitive,
It's a good
just get
time,
your
honestly.
you
We're
know,
here for
get your
you.
get your
Bring in the
liquor
heat.
of choice. So anyway, so this Naturally Slim program,
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to like earn points to get a discount off my insurance, and so I know insurance is a racket, but we do do what we got to do. So
we do what it got to do.
Like the first thing they did, and you remember this, we've talked about it a little bit, but the first thing they did is they send you this care package at the beginning with these peanuts and these Pringles.
That was priceless.
And a bracelet that says taste every bite. Like, and you watch this video with these things, and I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to spoil it because you really should. If you're interested in it, like, you should check it out. But it blew my mind. It really was, like, it was mind-blowing for me what they talked about on that. And I wanted to roll my eyes at their cheesy videos and be like, oh.
It's not easy being cheesy.
Oh, yeah, another, weight loss video. But yet, like, I found myself, like, wide-eyed and slack-jawed. Every week I would watch these videos on my phone, on my lunch break, and I would try and start eating salads. And they talked about some about what to eat, but more about like how and when to eat. I learned about my hunger levels. I learned about like tracking food and doing a daily food journal, which I claimed I had done in the past. I had never actually done it.
What?
And so if you're ever gonna like get anywhere, like figure out where you are to even figure out where you want to go. So just start tracking what you're eating. Like if you're wondering, like just wonder, there are lots of apps for that. I really like apps for that.
Get your apps together.
Get your apps together. That's the new circus. Get your apps together. One of the other things that was really huge was kind of along with this race is like slow and steady wins the race, in the sense of really teaching me how to slow down and why we slow down when we eat, and that it takes 20 minutes to satisfy that satisfaction. And so there are lots of things that I learned along this journey, putting tools in my toolkit, of, only eat half of whatever you order out. If you ever order out, immediately cut the meal in half and put the other half away, either for another meal or...
You gotta like get your habits together.
Yeah, you like gotta build your habits. You really have to change it. And it's hard. This kitty is finding his own way to overcome inertia. Right. And so that's
death, everybody. You can't stop. You got to keep everything in motion.
You got to keep it in motion. That which is in motion stays in motion. And that which is at rest stays at rest. And so it was really hard to get moving on that. I would watch videos every week about like, get moving. And it was hard. It was hard. Like,
did you have some fails?
Oh my God, so many fails. Like, I mean, literally 6 months ago, right before I did, for full disclosure, I don't want anyone to think that I didn't do other things. I don't want to misrepresent that Naturally Slim helped me lose 140 pounds, because it did.
Like by itself. Magically.
But I did other things. Like, one of the biggest things I did was the emotions of it. Part of the hard part is like imagining myself falling like Mike Wazowski. And like freaking out. I remember we went skiing with my mom in Colorado when I was a kid, and we were all fat when I was a kid. And like
we were all fat when I was a kid.
Everybody was No. I just mean the three of us in my family. No, nobody else was fat. It was an awful experience.
It was like
they stared at me, whatever.
Everybody was so plumped up. It was like a Thanksgiving turkey.
It would have been nice. And so we bought, like, my mom always envisioned herself skiing and like turning into the snowball. And so I think about that snowball, like kind of like Mike Wazowski. And I remember us finding like Garfield pins for sale of like Garfield in the like
fire. Shout out to Garfield, by the way. What's up? Eating that lasagna.
I did have a thing when I was a kid. I had a Garfield poster or pin or something that was like, eating problem, I don't have a problem. I see things, I eat it. What's the problem? You know, I was like, oh, Garfield, body positivity. Before even the body positivity was a thing.
Yeah, he just does what he does.
He's like, I'm going to eat this lasagna because it's delicious.
Garfield doesn't ask for permission.
Delicious. And by the way, thanks, Mom. Your lasagna was delicious. The entire family liked it.
Delicious.
If they didn't text you like I told them to, I'm giving you a shout out on YouTube for your delicious lasagna.
Somebody forgot to text about
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, so, you know, the one thing I wanted to talk about is like, on this slide in this kind of moment, like one of the things that was a huge part of this is emotions, right? One of the huge things about all of this is the emotions of eating and having to like get over that shame. One of the things I learned, one of the reasons I'm wearing yellow is that your like fatness and stuff is really helped. I mean, don't get me wrong, fat's everywhere, but your solar plexus is your belly, and that's like your chakra. If anybody knows, chakra. And so that is where shame is held, but it's also where willpower is held, and shame actually blocks your third chakra, which is yellow, which helps build that fire in the belly.
I was going to tell you about that, but I was too ashamed to talk about it.
You're so ridiculous. You make stupid jokes, and I love it. I love it. I love you for it. You're the best.
You know. We do what we can here.
It was really hard to exercise. Like even 6 months ago, we went disc golfing before I had surgery, and I literally couldn't take my ibuprofen, and I had been on ibuprofen for years. I had been on high blood pressure medication. My knees were killing me, and I wasn't on ibuprofen, and I couldn't walk more than, I think, like 3. I think we made it through 3 holes that day. That Saturday before my surgery, I think we made it through 3 holes. And I was miserable. I couldn't walk. My knees were in so much pain. This is only 6 months later. This isn't even a year later. Like a year later, there are so many things I can do a year later that I couldn't do like previously. Like even 6 months ago, like this last weekend, we went out, I walked 18 holes. I walked the entire course, no medication, no high blood pressure medication anymore.
Like the best game of your life, probably.
Best game. Like I could actually get the footwork going. I could actually shuffle my feet. I could actually throw my arm. I could actually feel muscles. I have literally never felt my muscles and my bones before. Like clavicle, I didn't even know I had these bones. Like I didn't even know they existed a year ago.
I will say like your enjoyment factor too, like just watching you be like shocked and thrilled by your ability to like bend your body and move and like throw, and just the entire experience was, I would say, transformative in the sense of like the most transcendental kind of moment a person can have, where they really are stepping through that portal and going, oh my God, I'm completely different. This is a completely different me. I am completely different.
I mean, if there's no better indication of it, and I just was like, oh, okay, well, I'll go and ride my bike every morning. If there's no indication of it, I'll just go and ride my bike and do a meditation in the mornings, and like that'll be my time. Like, because I've tried to do this workout, and I feel like Mike Wazowski every time I come home from work, and I'm like, hey, let's work out. And everybody's like, hey, do this, hey, do that, hey, do this, hey, do that, hey, do this, hey, do that, hey, do this. I want your attention. I want this, I want that. And I was like, you know what? The only time I could get that is in the mornings when everybody's still asleep, because I'm the earliest one up. Which is also a whole nother weird thing, because I wasn't that person a year ago. But like I had trauma recently, and literally when that traumatic experience happened, instead of like thinking, oh my God, I want to eat some chocolate or I want to eat something, my first instinct was, well, I guess I'll go work out to make myself feel better. And like I had heard of that. I was like, really? I mean, but does it really work? And now I'm all like, no, but it fucking works. Like,
I still eat a lot of candy. But that's just you know.
Well, you haven't done your journey yet, and everybody's journey. And like, I also don't want to shame anyone who's fat because I want people to understand that it's totally okay, and I get it, and food's delicious.
Slim Jims, man. I don't know how I'd ever like if somebody was like, "Should you ever have them?" I'd be like,
I love Slim Jims. You know what I saw the other day in my mom's cabinet that I really wanted to scarf down was Vienna sausage.
Oh gosh. I had it.
There's a lot of sodium. I don't know if you realize that.
In a bath of sodium, is it? What a surprise!
Surprise! But yeah, so like exercise is something that is like it's hard when you're bigger. I have a friend who's sharing her story, and it's hard for there's a lot of embarrassment. Like, did you ever like try and go to a gym or anything? Like, have you
where people make you do the whole thing, the E word?
Exercise. Shall we exercise the exercise demons?
Sometimes you have to exercise your right to say, I don't want to go to a gym today.
I don't ever want to go to a gym. I made a gym here in my home because there's no way I'm going to fit that into my schedule, one. But two, the trauma of being a fat girl. I remember actually when we dated for the first time in 1998.
Fat girl trauma.
Fat girl trauma. Here's my fat girl trauma in 1998. I was going to quit smoking and get healthier. That was my New Year's resolution for 1998.
Gotta get healthy.
I was working a steady job. I was like, you know what we do? Fitter, happier, more productive. Let's go get a gym membership and we'll, get fit. And so I went to, at the time it was Bally Total Fitness.
Oh.
And literally was like, okay, show me around. Like went to get a tour after I had bought you buy the membership and then you get like a tour of the facility to show you how to work everything, right?
Yeah.
And this meathead takes me into a room and gives me the dreaded fitness test. From elementary school that was the most traumatic.
No way.
The fat pinching and everything. Fat pinched me, made me do stairs to like test how much I breathed, breath.
He's just judging you the whole time.
Judging me the whole time, right? And literally at the end of it. And I'm just there to like have him show me the machines. And this dude literally goes, well, you're way too out of shape to work out on any of the machines, so I'm not going to show you any of them. All you can do is walk around the track.
Which makes total sense. I'm sorry you can't exercise.
Unless you want to pay for a personal trainer. And I was like,
well, no.
Are you fucking shitting me right now? Are you fucking shitting me right now?
Was he shitting you?
I literally went to the manager. I can't even tell you the horror. The horror of trying to cancel that membership.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of that, this was back in the 90s, it was 90s, 98, right? Then
Late
a credit
90s.
card company, because I was on a like
90s.
monthly payment plan with Bally's
Yeah.
for a 3-year contract, and they were going to take it out. And so then the credit card company was like, oh, well, we'll pay off your Bally's and give you some extra credit on that card that you can spend money. And I'm like, oh, that sounds great, because I'm young and dumb. Dumb, I'm now paying interest on a membership I'm not even using because the meathead was an asshole and made me so uncomfortable I never wanted to go back. I spent hours on a payphone in California having to fax while I was a truck driver driving across the country going, I don't live close enough to a Bally's because I'm on the road all the time. It was the craziest experience trying to get out of that it has ruined me. Like, it has ruined me. Do you have horror exercise stories, honey? Do you have any, like, gym?
Nothing that bad. Where, like, I think every time I went to a proper gym, it was just, it feels like everybody looks at you and goes, oh, I see why you're here. It's like, oh, there's no question about what you're doing. What is that man's motivations for being here? I mean,
what could it be?
Why would he come here? What does this Adonis have to teach us? It's just So it's obvious, like, when I'm in there. Honestly, the most fun I had at the gym,
tell me about the most fun you had at the gym.
was when I would go with Stone, the few rare times that we got to go, like the year that we had a gym, like proper gym membership.
Yeah.
We went quite a few times, I guess. I shouldn't say few. We actually went quite a few times. But of the times that we went, that was the most fun I ever had going to the gym, because at least he was so stoked to use all the equipment.
Yeah.
Because we got to lie about his age.
Ah.
And, haha, to everybody at the, Overland Park Center there, fooled you. Fooled you. My son wasn't 13, and he was walking on that treadmill. That's right. I fooled everybody. Yeah, no, he loved it. And I mean, that's one of those things, like, it made exercise more fun because he was so thrilled about it.
I did try again. I just want you to know I tried again. I went to 24-hour fitness. I tried 24-hour fitness.
I didn't stick with it. I didn't stick with it. You know what?
It's hard to stick with it.
It's very expensive. I don't know if, like, people know that or not, but, like, they will get your cheddars.
This whole process, I mean, the diet industry is an industry, right?
They get your bankroll.
I mean, I don't want to be a flat panther, because I was a fat panther. I was a fat panther. I really believed I was happy and healthy, and I really didn't feel that bad. Mm-hmm. And then I turned 40 and I gained even more weight, and it was harder, and my blood pressure went up, and I got dizzy, and my knees hurt all the time. And carrying an entire another human, I mean, I can actually carry a laundry basket upstairs and downstairs because I'm not carrying 140 extra pounds. Like, I can walk up and down stairs without having to take one stair at a time.
I'm personally very proud of you, honey. You've done a fantastic job.
It's been a lot. I mean, and I've spent a lot of money in the past year. I met my out-of-pocket maximum. Thank you very much, health insurance.
Yeah.
Out-of-pocket maximum. I actually, by the end of the year, got some free health care, in that I literally, like, had it 100% covered because I had paid so much money through the year. That,
what's messed up about that too is there's still a maximum. So even when you've, like, paid all your money, if something really bad happens to you and you're in the hospital and you have a long stay,
some of those plans still won't cover it.
There's a max, and then they'll just be like, "Oh, sorry, you're gonna have to start."
Or they'll kick you out of the hospital,
which is like, so crazy.
We just you can't pay for this.
I know that's not the point of this particular talk, but oh my gosh, to that.
I mean, we could go into medical debt. Maybe that's what we talk about next.
Honestly, I think it does lend at least a little discussion, in the sense of, like, if you're talking about the money involved in exercise, and that really lends itself to healthcare. If we had a system of healthcare that allowed you to take care of yourself like that, and have the ability to, like, let's say, have some home gym equipment, because that's a luxury.
For sure.
A lot of people don't have.
I did find an elliptical on the side of the road. I like free shit. So, like, someone was literally getting a new elliptical. Literally, I watched them carrying the old elliptical was on they had just put it on the side of the road as I was driving by. And then they were carrying the new elliptical back. And so I was like, I went and pulled up and I was like, hey, will you guys just put this in the back of my car, please, and I'll just take it with me?
I mean, that's a deal. Totally they don't have to dig through they don't have to worry about anybody coming and messing with it. Yeah, it's just, here you go. Somebody else is going to take it.
But even, like,
it's found a nice home with us, by the way.
It did.
Strangers.
We love it. We use it now. I mean, we had it for a while without using it.
It didn't get used that much.
Not lie. It did hang some coats and stuff. We did.
It was a fixture. The cats liked it for a little while.
Yeah. I mean, as they did the massage table. Like, I didn't even lay down on the ground a year ago. I had a massage table that if I was like the cat, I was up on the massage table doing my leg lifts on the massage table because I couldn't get up from the ground. I showed you the other day, honey, like, I actually got up from the ground without my hands.
There's our favorite cat.
Oh, our favorite kitty cat.
No, I think that's the struggle is real, though. Like, for all the people who are out there trying to do the weight loss or figure out, like, what it is to be in shape.
Just be healthy, take care of yourself, figure out what your body needs, get in touch with it.
Feel good about it.
Yeah, feel good about you and address that inner shame, if that's what you've got, if there is something blocking your motivation or your willpower
Embrace your
to
shame.
make the changes in your life that you want to make, then
Turn
check it out.
and face the shame.
If you want me to give you my hypnotherapist number, let me know. She's phenomenal. Kelly Murphy Boulay. Plug for her.
What up, Kelly?
What up, Kelly? You know, it's so lifestyle changing, you know? I mean, honey, what do you like? Let's get some feedback from you, because
Feedback from me.
feedback from you in terms of
Okay.
what's the weight loss journey been like as a passenger?
Oh, through like your
Like, how has it
journey and-
affected
yeah.
you, and like, what's your journey been like with someone who is on that weight loss journey
It's
and you're
interesting.
along for the ride?
I think it's tough because there's a lot of things that you don't think about as a person, like just eating a cheeseburger. I know sounds like, oh, of course a cheeseburger is not healthy, and I understand that right away. But just, personally, I love cheeseburgers. And I know it sounds weird to say that because it's not a controversial thing to say. It's like saying, I love air. Like, oh, no shit, people like that. You know, but I'm just saying, like, I personally, like, I literally love cheeseburgers. Like, I will eat them any meal, anytime. I love cheeseburgers.
So if you want to send us cheeseburgers, Nate's
Just so
Nate's
excited
game.
about them. If you have a favorite
If you
cheeseburger,
wanna-
please
yeah.
talk about it. I want to know about it. I seriously, I love it. You know what? I can't help it. I don't know what it is. They're
You
just
can't help
delicious.
it. That's a
delicious.
cop out.
They're delicious. I mean, you know what it is? I don't want to help it because I love them.
I know.
I love them. But anyway,
know.
so I love cheeseburgers. So that was one of the things that was hard, is when you don't think about the fact that you know, for someone in Val's position where she's had this surgery, especially when it's new, it's very difficult because her diet was very restricted.
I mean, I was healing from
But
you
her
know,
diet,
having
her diet was the most extreme it's ever been, and it was very much like if somebody had any major surgery to their stomach or abdomen. I imagine it's a very similar process because it's
you have
just
to be on liquids for a while.
it's how it is, and I was, I think, insensitive to that by proxy. Like, I don't think I knew how much my food presence was affecting her in general, and just in Val's, when I was in Val's presence with certain food, that would make a big difference, and it would affect her mood, and she would 100%, like anybody would in a position that she was in, she would get sensitive to that, and she would get pretty critical of me doing that in a way that wasn't.
I mean,
very
the
sensitive.
smell of McDonald's when you can't eat it,
tough.
literally can't, because
Yeah,
you're on
French
a liquid
fries.
diet, and like
Yeah.
your household is then eating
Yep.
hamburger and fries and making you smell McDonald's. Do you think that was you?
Was
so
that
you
critically
think that
sensitive of
was
me?
that critically sensitive of you?
No. I think it was. You know what's funny? Again, I would stand by the idea that I didn't think about it deeply enough, even though I thought that I understood what you needed, in the sense of I thought you just had that handled, and I just didn't have to really do anything. And I think that's the difference, is it's that kind of hands-off mentality that I didn't think that it was going to affect you, was probably pretty insensitive, in the sense of not being a critical thinker.
I
and
would
thinking
say the
about
same
that.
thing. I mean, I would
Yeah.
say the same thing in terms of, we've talked about like
Yeah.
leading up to my surgery, I didn't take you to the doctor's office. Like, I didn't figure like, oh, it's not like we're having a baby. I don't have to take you to the doctor's office with me. It's my doctor's office.
Right.
But like,
No, and that's
that would have
yeah.
been a really smart thing to do, for you to ask the doctor any questions you had, to make you feel like you were part of it, not to like say you have to get the surgery
No,
too.
I
but
think that's 'cause
to
it was
have
such a major
known, like,
change. Yeah.
what the diet
Yeah.
was going to be like and things like that.
I
And maybe
agree.
if,
I think I would have
you know,
taken it. I at least would have taken it way more seriously. I think in general, just to the sense of, I would not have realized if I had that precognition of like being told that. I think then if I had been insensitive and just like been like, oh well, that sucks for you, I'm eating cheeseburgers, That's a whole different story. I mean, I think I did get better as we went along, and I learned and I tried to understand. But
We've definitely it's a growing process or a shrinking process in my.
It was definitely a moment of, and I mean that I don't mean to focus only on the food, because there was also behavioral changes that I have to understand and acquiesce to, and so I think there's other
He
things.
kicked me out of the bedroom, you guys. He literally was like, "You can't get dressed in here in the mornings because I want to sleep in. And you have to be at work early and you get up and exercise and it wakes me up and I don't like it. So you need to go get dressed in a different room."
I am a princess,
and I was like,
and I need my beauty sleep.
really?
I don't know
Like,
why that is such an
I'm the
issue.
one doing all this work and you're like, I need my beauty sleep.
I gotta get my 16 hours. I don't know if they promise.
But I mean, it's definitely been an adjustment. But what's nice is that nowadays, like, I can eat just about anything, but I just eat it in smaller portions.
I was gonna say it's a
and that
portion
was
game.
one of the
anything.
things that
Yeah.
my therapist said to me when we were, talking about this journey and going on this journey. We were talking about it, and she's like, just remember what Dolly Parton said, because everybody loves Dolly, right? Dolly Parton says,
Oh, Dolly.
I still have chocolate cake. I just have a bite instead of a piece. And I really have. I know that you feel differently about that. I know that you felt differently about that before. You're like,
Did I
don't
feel like
show
Patrick?
me.
Just say it. Just say I feel
Don't
like
show me a freaking piece. Or don't show me a bite of chocolate cake. I want the whole cake.
Yeah, see that's tough. I mean, I think that
You're an extremist.
Well, I will say this too: is I don't, and I know this sounds like a cop out. Maybe it is, in a larger sense, and I just don't want to cop to it. But I really like indulging in the sense of not denying myself the pleasures of the world. I don't know how much
I
time
totally
I
get that.
have in the world.
I totally get that. And I will definitely say there is a lot of
trying to enjoy myself.
there is a lot of debate in the weight loss groups, in the little Facebook groups where I remember I posted, we were so excited. I had done surgery. I had been on liquid for a month or something. And literally I moved to pureed food. I could eat blended
I
food.
remember the stage changes.
And,
were huge.
They were
You were like,
just
"I get to
oh my
have-
God, I get to have food.
Oh my God, I'm so
And
excited.
we went
Yeah.
to Wendy's. You were like,
Oh,
we
yeah.
can- I was like, we can eat.
Yeah.
I can eat mashed potatoes. I could get a spud,
Yeah.
potato.
Yeah, I remember.
And I could blend it.
I was
And then I
excited.
could get chili and blend the chili. It'll have protein in it.
Oh, so excited.
And so he got to have
I think
Wendy's.
I got a Baconator too. It was
Oh,
just
my
like the
God.
worst. I'm such a dick.
I
I'm
was
sorry.
fine though. At the same time, he did send me through Taco Bell after surgery. That was rough.
That was a tough
the
day.
roughest. That
Yeah.
was the roughest.
That was a tough
but
day. I would have done it myself, but I couldn't.
it was. Here's the thing. I love you, and I'm glad we've gotten to this point of it because, I mean, when I posted a picture of my mashed potatoes and chili from Wendy's, which, by the way, I ate this much
It
of
was
the
smallest
of
amount.
any of it, and people are like, "Oh my God, how dare you!" And then other people are like, I
What's
did
wrong with
come on
you?
this journey to never eat things or be happy or to
never
deny
have
myself
anything ever
and
again.
so
Yeah.
even when you're having sweets nowadays, I will have. Let me taste it. I'll just taste it. And you know what? You know what I found out today, honey?
What'd you find out today?
I like unsweet tea.
Just the taste of tea.
I had a glass of unsweet tea.
You were
I
pretty into
ordered this is my other thing nowadays. I order kids meals. Because we had this whole debate last week and we were like,
True.
Are they going to card me?
You don't know.
Because they're 12 and under.
You're like, I'm
and you're
sorry, sir. With a beard.
Can I still just order? I just only want
You don't
half
get-
the food?
You don't get that.
And so I actually ordered a kids meal to get chicken and then baked Lay's and then an unsweet tea.
Solid-
and was you know
solid
what? That's
meal.
a solid choice. You know where I went for lunch? You know where that was?
Where?
Freddy's.
Freddy's, really?
Freddy's. I had chicken tenders with baked Lay's and an unsweet tea. And it was delicious and okay. Satisfying. And I was like, I was really amazed. Like, I don't even miss the sugar. I've really cut down on sugar. That's a whole nother drug we could talk about, and like what the sugar industry is like. But we have gone on way too long.
What?
I mean, you guys, again, we could go on for hours. That's why we started doing this critically sensitive.
Money.
Like, that's why we started doing this, is because this is what we can do. Like, just hanging around our house. We will literally lose
You're
entire
hanging around our
days.
house with us, though, right now. We're all together
We
here.
invited you in.
We're together
We
now.
invited you in.
No longer alone.
To be a part of our
No
critically sensitive
pandemic
world.
can keep us apart.
We want to be together.
That's right.
So I just want to say, like, whether you've put on the pandemic pounds or whether you found the opportunity to take off the pounds with the pandemic, you are beautiful just the way you are.
Just the way
Heal from
you
the
are.
inside. Don't hurt people. Do no harm. And let's all give ourselves a high five. Can we get a high five?
Oh, perfect.
Did it.
Perfect
Did a high
first
five.
time. Look
So,
at us.
we love you. If you want to know anything, if you have any questions, if you want to know more, let us know.
Comment it up. Yeah, give us some ideas of what you want to see, and we'll do it up.
Yeah, we'll take requests. We're
do
open to
requests.
suggestions.
We are suggestible. Critically sensitive and suggestible. That's us.
Take your chance.
We'll see you next time on The Big Show.